Hello to everyone out there watching, and a very warm welcome to the Simple English Hub, the channel where we genuinely believe that learning English doesn't have to feel scary or impossible.
Hi, Alex. It is wonderful to be sitting here with you today, and it is even better to be connecting with all of our brave students around the world who are taking steps to improve their lives through English.
Sarah, today we are tackling a topic that I think is perhaps the single most nerve-wracking, palm-sweating, heart-pounding moment in any language learner's journey.
Oh, I know exactly what moment you are talking about, Alex. It's that split second when you meet someone new, they look you in the eye, and you realize you have to open your mouth and introduce yourself in English.
It really is terrifying for beginners, isn't it? I remember years ago when I was first trying to learn French, I went to a small gathering and a native speaker walked up and just said, "Bonjour."
Oh no, I can imagine what happened next. Did your brain completely freeze up, even though you had studied the vocabulary in your textbook at home?
That is exactly what happened. My mind went totally blank, my face turned red, and I think I just mumbled something unintelligible and stared at my shoes because the pressure of that first impression was just too high.
I think every single person watching this video right now knows that exact feeling because we have all been there. You feel like everyone is judging you, waiting for you to make a massive grammar mistake.
And that fear leads to the biggest problem we see with beginners. They become silent because they are too afraid to speak, so they miss opportunities to connect with people and practice their English.
But that is why we created the Simple English Hub, because we want to tell you that it is okay to be nervous, but we also want to give you the tools so that fear doesn't stop you from speaking.
Today, we are not just going to throw a list of phrases at you and wish you good luck. We are going to deeply deconstruct the introduction process and build a foundation that will not crumble under pressure.
The philosophy we use here at the Hub is that simple is strong, because when you're nervous, complicated grammar is the first thing that disappears from your brain, but simple structures stay with you.
Exactly, Sarah. Many beginners try to impress people with complex sentences during an introduction, but they usually end up getting tangled in grammar knots, and it actually makes them sound less confident.
So our goal today is to teach you what we call the 4-brick foundation, which is just 4 incredibly simple, short sentences that you can keep in your pocket for any situation.
If you have these 4 bricks ready, you never have to panic because you know exactly what to say, step by step, to make a polite, professional, and friendly first impression.
Let's start slowly and look at the first brick, which seems obvious, your name, but actually most beginners learn the wrong way to say this in the real world.
You are absolutely right. Almost every English textbook starts on page 1 with the phrase, "Hello, my name is John," and grammatically, that is a perfectly correct sentence.
It is correct, but the problem is that native speakers very rarely speak like textbooks in casual introductions. Saying, "My name is," sounds very formal, a little bit stiff, and slightly robotic.
To sound more natural, friendlier, and frankly more confident, you want to use the contraction. Just 2 quick words, "I'm," followed by your name, like, "I'm Alex."
It sounds so much better, doesn't it? "I'm Sarah" is fast, it's easy to say when you're nervous, and it immediately breaks down barriers between you and the other person.
Also, pay attention to your voice when you say it. Don't make your name sound like a question, like, "I'm Alex?" Say it with a downward melody at the end to show confidence. "I'm Alex."
Okay, so we have brick 1, which is your name. Now we need brick 2, which we call the anchor, because it helps place you in the world for the other person.
This is the classic phrase, "I am from," And it's important because it gives the person you are meeting a piece of information they can use to start small talk with you later.
Now, there is a little bit of strategy here, Alex, because you need to decide whether to say your country or your specific city, and that depends entirely on where you are.
That's a great point. If I'm traveling internationally, say I'm at a conference in Tokyo, I would probably use my country as the anchor and say, I am from the United States.
But if you are in a very international setting already, like London or New York, or if you come from a very famous city, saying the city might create a better connection, like, I am from Paris.
Choose the anchor that feels most relevant to the situation you are in right now, and just state it clearly. Don't overcomplicate it with long stories about where you were born versus where you live now.
All right, Alex, take a deep breath because we have arrived at brick 3, the job brick. And this is the danger zone where almost 90% of beginners make a noticeable grammar mistake.
This is the moment when people ask, "What do you do?" And the answer seems so simple. You just say, "I am," and then add your job title. But that is where the trap is waiting.
The trap is that in many languages, you can just say, I am teacher or I am student. But English demands that you put a tiny little article word in the middle.
You absolutely must use a or an. And this causes so much anxiety because when you're standing there nervously, it's hard to remember the grammar rule for which one to choose.
But don't worry because Alex has an amazing physical trick that will help you feel the correct answer in your own body, so you don't have to think about grammar rules.
This is my favorite technique for beginners. Everyone watching, I want you to take your hand right now and place it gently flat against the front of your neck, right over your voice box.
Okay, my hand is on my throat and I am ready. What do we do next to test this technique?
Now, I want you to make some vowel sounds. Say, ah, ee, ooh, ooh. And tell me what you physically feel happening under your hand against your throat.
Oh, wow. When I make those sounds, I can feel a very strong buzzing sensation. My throat is vibrating quite a lot against my palm.
Exactly, Sarah. That is the key. Vowel sounds create physical vibration. So if the very first sound of your job word makes your throat vibrate, you must use the word an.
Okay, let's test this out with some real jobs. Let's try engineer. E-engineer. Yes, that definitely vibrates my throat. So it has to be I am an engineer.
Perfect. Now let's try a different type of sound. Keep your hand on your throat and make sounds like T, P, S, or K, almost like you are whispering them.
Okay. T, 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 s, s, s. That feels very different, Alex. There's no buzzing at all. It just feels like air is escaping from my mouth.
Precisely. Those are unvoiced consonant sounds. And if your job starts with just air and no vibration, you use the simple word a.
So for teacher, t, t, teacher, that's just air, so it is I am a teacher. And for student, s, s, student, that is also just air, so it is I am a student.
Isn't that a great trick? You don't need a textbook, you just need your own throat to tell you the answer, and that will save you from the biggest mistake in introductions.
So now we have 3 bricks: name, anchor, and job. But Alex, if we just stop talking right after saying our job, it feels very abrupt and a little rude, doesn't it?
It does feel unfinished, like hanging up the phone without saying goodbye. You need brick 4, which we call the wrapper, to neatly package your introduction and hand the conversation over to the other person. The best wrapper for beginners is the classic phrase, "It's nice to meet you." But Sarah, the words alone are not enough here. The delivery is almost more important than the vocabulary.
You are absolutely right. You cannot say this phrase with a flat face or while looking at the floor. You must make eye contact, and you absolutely must smile when you say it to show you are friendly.
In many Western cultures, this is also the moment where you would offer a firm handshake, though of course you have to read the room and be aware of cultural differences or health concerns these days.
So, when you combine the words, "It's nice to meet you," with warm eyes and a genuine smile, you have successfully completed your 4-brick foundation.
Now, before we make our students practice, I think we should demonstrate the difference between a nervous textbook introduction and a confident, simple English introduction.
That's a great idea. Alex, why don't you role-play the nervous beginner first? Show us what it looks like when you try too hard to be formal and forget the grammar rules.
Okay, here I go. Alex stiffens up, looks slightly away from the camera, and speaks robotically. "Hello, person. My name is Alex. I am from the United States. I am video editor. Nice to meet you."
Ooh, that was painful to watch, Alex. It felt very cold, and I noticed you missed the A before your job title, which immediately signaled that you were nervous.
It felt terrible to say it that way. Now watch what happens when I just relax, use the contractions, remember the vibration trick, and smile at the end.
Go ahead, show us the simple English hub way of doing it.
Alex smiles warmly at the camera, relaxes his shoulders, and speaks fluently. "Hi there, I'm Alex. I'm from the US, and I'm a video editor. It's really nice to meet you."
The difference is night and day. It is almost the exact same information, but the second version feels like a real human connection, whereas the first one felt like a robot reading a script.
That is the power of keeping it simple. When you aren't panicking about complex grammar, your true personality can actually shine through, which is the whole point of meeting someone.
Okay, we have talked enough about the theory. Now it is time for the most important part of this video, which is getting you, the viewer, to actually open your mouth and speak.
We are going to do a guided practice. Sarah and I will walk you through the 4 bricks slowly, and we will leave quiet spaces for you to say your own information out loud to the screen.
Please don't just think the words in your head. You need to train your mouth muscles to say these things. So please speak out loud wherever you are sitting right now.
Are you ready? Let's start with brick 1, your name. Remember to use the friendly contraction, I'm. Go ahead and say it now. That was a great start. Now brick 2, the anchor. Tell us where you were from using I am from. Say your country or your city clearly. Excellent. Now for the tricky one, brick 3, your job. Quickly touch your throat if you need to check for the vibration for A or an, and tell us what you do.
Wonderful job navigating that grammar trap. Now finally, brick 4, the wrapper. Give us a big smile, look at the camera, and politely finish your introduction.
Fantastic! If you just did that out loud, you have successfully built your foundation, and you should be very proud of yourself for taking that step.
How are you feeling now? Hopefully that feeling of panic has gone down a little bit because you realize that you have a structure you can rely on when your brain freezes up.
The secret to confidence isn't knowing every word in the dictionary. It's about mastering these simple, essential interactions so they become automatic reflexes.
We want you to keep practicing this until it feels completely natural. So we have a small homework assignment for you today to officially welcome you to our community.
We want you to go down to the comments section right below this video and type out your 4-brick introduction so we can officially meet you.
Just write it out simple and clear. Hi, I'm name. I am from place. I am a job. It is nice to meet you.
Sarah and I personally read through the comments, and we would love to reply and say hello to our newest students at the Simple English Hub.
Thank you so much for trusting us with your English journey today. Remember, keep it simple. Be kind to yourself when you make mistakes, and keep practicing.
If this deep dive helped calm your nerves about introductions, please give the video a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next lesson for more simple English tips.